Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one is entitled Extreme Sunlight, Burning Trees and Sun Simulator Lenses. In a recent video entitled He Was Shocked at What He Saw After His Morning Bike Ride, Thought Something Fell Hot, Mr. MBB333 showed a photograph that someone had sent him of a bicycle helmet that had melted, and also some video footage of trees that had been burnt. I have also noticed that the leaves in the region where I live have started falling, and it is too early for the fall, so it is obvious that something else is causing the trees to fall off the trees. It is therefore likely that all these events have a common cause. Our atmosphere is now being illuminated by artificial sources of light, or sun simulators. And you may look at article 226b entitled Sun Simulating Devices, the Irrefutable Evidence, for more details. These devices are in the atmosphere and therefore very close to the Earth's surface, and furthermore they are emitting UVC radiation and most likely extreme ultraviolet radiation as well. And you may look at article 204 entitled Harmful UVC Radiation Reaching Earth's Surface Indicates Source Within Atmosphere. And here you see an image of the melted bicycle helmet, and as you can see, it's melted here, all here. And now this actually occurred between 9 and 11 in the morning, and therefore not even during the part of the day when the sun is supposed to be strongest. It's likely that some radiation is being emitted from the upper atmosphere as a result of the stellar core debris that is continuously coming into the Earth's atmosphere. And you may look at article 272 entitled Noctilucent Clouds and Planet X Debris in the Earth's Atmosphere, and article 320 entitled Planet X Debris Incoming, Sprites and Earthquakes for more details on that. But this debris would be present during the day as well as during the night, as the debris will stay in the upper atmosphere for very long periods of time. The helmet melted during the morning hours, and these are the hours during which sun simulators seem to be at even lower altitudes. Lenses seem to be an essential part of the sun simulation system. So a possible explanation is that a simulator system lens moved across the region and its focal point crossed the path of the bicycle rider. The light intensity is strongest at the focal point of a lens, which would explain why he felt the sunlight burning his skin and why his helmet melted. There is evidence that several types of lenses are being used. Some seem to be made of a transparent material but appear to be solid. Others seem to be made out of air itself, possibly with the application of either sound wave or electromagnetic wave technology. And you may look at article 213 entitled Producing Lenses Out of Air in the Earth's Atmosphere. And you can see evidence of these lenses here. These are still shots from video taken in which the image is distorted by a distorting medium or lens between the camera and the house being filmed. The lens, as you can see the edge of the lens here. And in the video you can actually see this oscillating. So the lens has to be between the house and the camera, and that's very close to the ground and can only be made out of air itself. There's nothing else that could possibly be between the camera and the house. Not anything made out of any material other than air. You can actually see the air or the curvature of this lens vibrating, the interface between the two different layers of air. Now, there are also photographs showing evidence for the use of lenses in the atmosphere that seem to be Fresnel lenses, and this is what a Fresnel lens looks like. It has these concentric rings and each ring has a slightly different curvature that corresponds to a different place on a double convex lens. But it's made flat by this process that places the curvature, separates the curvature into different concentric rings. And you can see what seems to be one of these Fresnel lenses up here, close to the sun simulator. It's obviously not the sun. And another one here, as you can see, in between the clouds in the sky. Now, Fresnel lens, like I said, is actually a double convex lens which has been made flat. And this is actually what a real double convex lens looks like, and it's quite thick at the center, whilst the Fresnel lens has exactly the same curvature. The curvatures are divided up into concentric rings and just flattened against the center of the lens. But the same curvatures that would cause these rays of light to be focused onto the focal point of the lens are there as well. They're just made into a flat lens. And so if light is coming from infinity, so these are parallel rays of light, then these lenses, which are called double convex or magnifying lenses, will focus the light on the focal point of the lens. If there is a light source close to the lens, then the light rays will diverge away from that light source, and once passing through the lens, they will become more parallel. Depends on the exact distance. If the light source is at the focal point of the lens, then the rays will be exactly parallel. Otherwise, if it's further away, they will focus somewhere else. Now, so this is what a Fresnel lens does. And of course, there's evidence that we have that these are being used in our atmosphere. Now, here what we see is orange and blue light that seems to be separated at the edge of this sun halo. And this indicates refraction is occurring at the edge of a lens, and therefore that there is a lens in front of, it's not actually the sun, it has to be a sun simulator, because as you can see, it seems to be hexagonal. Hexagonal shape means it's an artificial device, it's not the real sun. And here is another sun simulation device, and this one seems to be made out of several parts. They are multicolored additional light sources and multiple other disc-shaped devices, some with what seems to be holes in them, as you can see, in an array type of pattern. These are all clearly artificial and not what our real sun could possibly be like. The whole array devices, these things, also appear to be magnified images of what is most likely much smaller objects, suggesting that magnifying lenses are part of a mechanism with several parts, which together produce a simulation of the sun in the sky. And here is a screenshot of those burned tree leaves. As you can see, there are black spots on the leaves. And it would take extremely intense light for leaves to be burned to the point that they turn black. So a lens producing more intense light at certain areas, because the lens's focal point happens to be at that area on the surface of the Earth for a time, can explain why a bicycle helmet may melt and tree leaves can get burnt enough to develop black spots. But the sun does not seem to always be so strong that it melts plastic, and trees are not burned to the same degree everywhere, which suggests that not all areas experience the same extreme heat coming from the simulators. The fact that the helmet melted and the man's skin was not burned suggests that this was not just UV radiation, as UV radiation intense enough to melt hard plastic would result in severe damage to a person's skin. This was most likely intense visible light that resulted in the damage to the helmet. Radiation at any wavelength will result in an object's temperature to increase, but a human being is able to dissipate the heat through circulating blood. The helmet is not. However, intense UV radiation will directly damage skin cells, which will result in visible effects such as peeling skin. This means that the sun simulators are emitting extremely intense visible light in order to most likely replace the summer heat and light effects that the sun used to supply, since the sun is no longer able to do so. And you may look at Article 195 entitled Stellar Course in the Dying Sun, and Article 291 entitled The Sun Disappears, Day Turns into Night for more details on that. In addition, lenses designed to work with the system are creating regions on the surface of the Earth where intense heat is produced. So in conclusion, a melting bicycle helmet, burnt tree leaves, and tree leaves falling off trees way before the fall suggest that sun simulators and their lens system are to blame for these unnatural effects. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.